Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Welcome back to 50 for 50, the top 50 attractions in the history of Walt Disney World. I'm your host, Bryan Perri. We've already counted down 15, but now we're getting down to the good stuff. Number 35 is coming up next on the top 50 attractions in Walt Disney World history.
Didn't your parents ever warn you about strangers?
Yes, they did.
With the unparalleled success of 2013's Frozen, Disney knew it had to take advantage by installing as many Frozen elements into its parks as possible. First came the Frozen Summer Fun Processional at Hollywood Studios in summer 2014, and then came a more permanent offering, Frozen Ever After, at EPCOT. On October 5th, 2014, Disney made the decision to close the fan-favorite Maelstrom boat ride in order to remove everything but the track. Replacing the Vikings and Trolls from the original attraction would be Anna, Elsa, Olaf, and the rest of the Frozen crew in a brand new attraction. This would mark the second time that Disney would be taking an Epcot ride from the 80s, shutting it down, and retheming it to incorporate Disney characters. The first was the next-door neighbor Mexico Pavilion, who in 2007 replaced the original Rio del Tiempo boat ride with the Grand Fiesta Tour starring the Three Caballeros. As mentioned before, excluding the first scene of the ride, Frozen Ever After utilizes the same track layout as Maelstrom, but brought with it new animatronics that feature projection face mapping, seen here. As expected, you get to see Elsa sing Let It Go from her North Mountain balcony before being sent backwards and encountering the big snowman Marshmallow. At its opening, the attraction featured wait times in excess of 5 hours, marking it as one of Disney's biggest ride debuts this millennium.
3, 2, 1.
Charlie 218, safe inside, head for the cruise area.
If you were to create a Hall of Fame for rides that are no longer with us, Epcot would without a doubt have the most enshrinements. Coming in at number 34 on our countdown is Body Wars, which already marks the third Epcot attraction that no longer exists on our list. Body Wars was a simulator ride that shrunk guests and sent them inside the human body to aid in the removal of a splinter. Debuting within the brand new Wonders of Life Pavilion in 1989, the ride utilized the extremely advanced Atlas ride system, which was technology used in Star Tours over in Disneyland. At its opening, Body Wars stood as Epcot's only thrill ride and was so intense that the combination of quick movements alongside brand new CGI that portrayed the inside of our bodies caused record numbers of motion sickness reports. In fact, despite the funding and advanced system, Body Wars saw its wait time diminish to nearly a walk-on less than a year after opening. 2 months after Body Wars was introduced, Star Tours made its Walt Disney World debut at Hollywood Studios. This also proved to be another splinter in Body Wars, as the ride system was the same, but with the IP of Star Wars attached, Star Tours proved to be far more popular. Body Wars went into seasonal operation soon after the turn of the century. Mission Space, Test Track, and Soarin' all had joined the attraction in the thrill ride category since it had opened. Then in 2007, Body Wars closed for good. And in 2019, Disney announced that they planned on converting the building into the new Play Pavilion, which is set to become an interactive mini-city. Less than 2 weeks prior to the most extensive closure in the history of Walt Disney World due to the COVID pandemic, Hollywood Studios introduced us to Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, Disney's first ride-through attraction based on their iconic mouse. The opening of the ride came with its fair share of controversy, as it was replacing an attraction that perhaps best embodied the park it was in, the Great Movie Ride. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is an extremely impressive trackless dark ride that features the characters from the award-winning new Mickey shorts. The technology used in the ride vehicles also appears in Rise of the Resistance, as both utilize an RFID puck system to maneuver through the building without a track. The technology was so impressive over in Japan with Pooh's Honey Hunt, it became one of Tokyo Disneyland's must-do attractions. In Runaway Railway, guests are thrust into the cartoon world thanks to a mesmerizing pre-show that features an explosion in the wall that separates the real world and the cartoon world. Visitors next hop aboard a train with Goofy as their engineer and pull away for a nice scenic ride through a park. As it seems to be the case with most theme park attractions, things go awry and riders find themselves detached from Goofy's locomotive and at the center of a number of different thrilling scenes from the award-winning Mickey shorts. The shoes that Runaway Railway had to fill following the great movie ride were next to impossible, though the attraction does a great job on its own and provides Hollywood studios with another new ride that can be enjoyed by both older and newer generations alike.
Hi-ho! Hi-ho!
In 2009, Disney showcased their plans to expand the Magic Kingdom by introducing a Fantasyland overhaul. The crowning jewel of New Fantasyland came in 2014 when the final part of the park's expansion was complete. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train opened to extensive wait times and a positive reception, introducing a first-of-its-kind roller coaster that featured swinging vehicles that responded to the momentum created by the track. Built as a family-oriented roller coaster, Mine Train may not have the thrills of Space Mountain, but provides plenty of twists, turns, dips, and drops to keep both kids and adults smiling. Halfway through the attraction, the ride pulls into a mine where you can spot the Seven Dwarfs hard at work, surrounded by shimmering diamonds. While it may be hard to imagine a new Fantasyland without its signature attraction, the original plans for the park's expansion actually didn't feature the popular roller coaster. Instead stood cottages for Princesses Snow White and Aurora that would feature meet and greets similar to Enchanted Tales with Belle. A planned Pixie Hollow area featuring the fairies from the Tinkerbell franchise was also scrapped. In the end, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train came in and today provides a picturesque, fun embodiment of the 1937 film that helped shape the Disney company that we know today.
Prepare yourselves.
Welcome aboard!
For the newest thrill attraction from the imaginations of Disney and George Lucas. Star Tours.
Originally opening in 1987 at Disneyland, the story of how Star Tours came to be is a lengthy one that ended up creating one of the most famous theme park attractions of all time. The ride opened in Anaheim just a year after the George Lucas-produced Captain EO had opened in Orlando at EPCOT. The attraction utilized the same technology found in our number 34 ride, Body Wars, and opened its Walt Disney World edition in December of 1989. And the process in making the film that would be showcased within the attraction's vehicles became a mountainous task within itself. Remember, this is the 80s, so CGI is very much still in its infancy, and George Lucas would use the same style of filming he used for the films to create the content for Star Tours. That filming incorporated elaborate model sets with jib cameras, though unlike in the films, this time the shot would have to look like one continuous one rather than being pieced together. Once the ride opened, it was instantly a hit, drawing huge crowds on both coasts. The elaborate queue made riders feel as if they were in an intergalactic airport, and after the lovable animatronic Captain Rex made a few mistakes during your simulated flight, guests found themselves weaving through comets and escaping the Empire before returning home. The thrill ride lived for 21 years before being updated in 2010 with new HD and 3D features to go along with an updated story.
Star Tours The Adventures Continue, which is the new name, has made occasional updates to its ride film over the last decade and remains a popular attraction at Hollywood studios. The success the ride achieved helped pave the way for rides like Indiana Jones and the new Star Wars rides at Galaxy's Edge.